Alright, today we're going to talk about infographics. You may have heard the word infographic before, but you may not be sure what exactly they are. And since we're offering this as an option for you on the upcoming project, you may want to know a little more about it and how to make an infographic. Let's watch this video.
So using infographics is a great tactic for your website. An infographic is basically taking text, statistics, and other information and turning it into a graphical format, something that is an engaging and exciting visual for your users. Infographics are great because they are more compelling to the audience. It's something that's going to catch their attention and they're going to follow through more than they would a couple paragraphs of text. The other thing is it tends to be more shareable. Something like an infographic that is visual, that is creative, is going to be shared much more than, again, a big block of text or statistics. The other thing is that it's comprehensible. People will understand the information more. People do tend to stop reading, especially after a couple paragraphs or sentences of text. But if you put it in a visual format and make it creative, people will really follow through that information, comprehend it, and retain it more. So if you get the chance and can turn your text or other information in infographics, do it because it's going to get a lot more value out of your site.
Alright, now that we've learned a little bit more about why we use infographics, here are two examples of what an infographic might look like. You can see that it's very short, to the point, facts or statistics in a very visually appealing way, and the visuals usually contribute to the meaning in some way. Notice that it's dark words on a light background or light words on a dark background, things that really make the visuals and the letters pop for the reader. If you use color, color is 80% more likely to be red, and generally we only read 28% of the words that we see per visit to a piece of text. So something like this you're going to read more of than if you saw giant paragraphs or long paragraphs. And visuals. In 1/10 of a second we can get a sense of a visual versus it takes much longer than that to read a paragraph or two and get a sense of what it's talking about. Okay, so let's try it. I want you to go to pictochart.com. The username is rtmslibrary@gmail.com and the password is library. I'm going to leave that up on the screen for just a moment while you type it in. If it's still not long enough, just pause the video until you've entered it. Alright, once you've logged in, you should see a screen like this. If you will go ahead and click Create New in the upper right here. And today we're going to be making an infographic, so make sure you click on that. Alright, we do have the free account, which means we only have about 10 templates to choose from. So you can look through them and see if one of those will meet your needs. Otherwise, you can start from scratch by clicking Create New right here where it's blank. If you choose one of the templates, the reason that might be better is that you then will just be changing pictures and text, but the basic layout and initial color scheme and everything are done for you. So for the purposes of the tutorial, I'm going to come down and click this one that says About Me. So you put your mouse over it, it's going to make it this dark gray, and then click Use Template. Alright, so that's going to load for me, and now I'm in the editor's navigational menu. Alright, if I click on any of the words, I want you to notice the navigational bar up here. A lot of these functions are much like the ones that you would find in Microsoft Word or Google Docs. So you have your undo, redo, your cut, copy and paste, your trash can if you want to delete any of the elements within your template. You have lock. If I pressed that and I was highlighted on something, it would lock that so that I couldn't move it around. If you have things like these two that are really close together, it may help to lock it in place just so you don't accidentally grab the one that you're not wanting to move. And then the colors, this right here, the paint can will change the letters of your words, so you can make them different colors to make them stand out, really whichever you want to do. We're going to come back to opacity in just a moment, but opacity just makes it like how see-through it is. I wouldn't necessarily make your lettering see-through because that's the part you want to stand out. We'll play with that feature more when we get to backgrounds. Then this is where you can change your font, so you can make it all different fonts, and you can change it the size too, make it bigger or smaller. And then you have your bold, italicize, and underline. Again, just like Microsoft Word, you have your text alignment if you wanted to make it left, center, or right. You can do bulleted list, and this, your letter spacing is how far apart you want those letters to be and how much room you want to be between lines there. And then you can also hyperlink that out if you're using a digital infographic. And we'll go with this arrange button. We'll come back to that again later too, but that's how that you can bring elements forward or back. If you want the text to sit on top of a shape or some other thing, you would click bring forward to put it back in front of that. Alright, so let's take a look at graphics. We have shapes and icons, so you could drag and put a star out there, and let me show you what I was talking about for the, so if I want to bring that forward or send it back, that would allow me to put it there behind the A and about. So you can play with that a little and get it set up how you want. We also have lines, so that's how you can draw maybe arrows to different pieces of information, or you can section off different pieces of information. I don't really want to use a line right now, so I'm going to hit that undo. Photos, you can pick from any of these and drag them into place. Alright, so I've chosen a photograph of a cigarette to put in there, and now I want to maybe reposition that so it's in a better position. You can also make the photos different shapes. If you were to go down to back to graphics and go to photo frames, that's how you could make the photo a different shape, but I'm going to keep it a circle. I think it looks nice like that. Alright, so now we're on to backgrounds. So now we can change our background color. So you could select color to go in the background, and you can also select an image to lay over that color. Some of them don't interact, and you can only then do the background. And then you can also play with that opacity again, so you can make it lighter or darker depending on how much you want it to show up. Remember that you can double click on words to change what they say, and you can also, that also brings up your navigational menu, so I could change my word color if I didn't want the words to be green any longer. Now I want you to notice, because this right here is a graph, and so if you click on this pencil, it's going to let you edit what's in the graph. So the chart title, I want to call it Smoking by Age Group. And then maybe I want to change my categories to be by different age groups, so like teens, 25 to 40, and then those over 40. So I could change the information that's in the graph, and it's going to adjust those bar lengths for me. If I wanted to change the percentages, or if you come up here and click on our settings wheel, that's how you can change the color of the bars themselves. Perhaps you don't want them to be green. That's also where you can change the title color and the text color. So I can make those different colors. You could choose whether you want the legend to show, where you want the title to appear, and things like that. So once you're done, you hit update chart, and it's going to appear in here, and my words now aren't in the correct place, nor are they the correct words. So I'm going to move those, or click on them and drag them and move them where I want them. But I'm also going to change what they say. So we had teen, and we had 25 to 40. And we had 40 and up. So that's just a quick and easy way to change my graphic, and that using that template, it was a little easier than having to create that graph from scratch. Our next category is text. This is where you can add, and this will be especially helpful again if you don't use a template and you start from scratch. This is where you can add titles to your graphic or subtitles. This is where you can add different ribbons or other types of text boxes to your infographic. And then you can also go and choose from different color schemes, which again is really helpful if you don't start with the template. Alright, now let's take a look at tools. Tools is going to allow you to make a chart or to put in a map. The cool thing about the maps is that you actually can click what you want a map of, and then you can break it down by like state. So the graph or the map will let you put in specific information by state, like maybe the number of smokers per state or the voting age by state, whatever, here we go, whatever information. So you could change this from population to some other category, and that way when people roam their mouse over your digital infographic, they'll actually be able to get the different information that you wanted to put in there. Or you can embed videos into your infographic. Alright, once you've completed your infographic and it's everything you wanted it to be sure that you save it. Then you can download it as a PNG, a PNG, or JPEG file. Be sure to give it a name that is easily identifiable as yours or your group's, since this is a shared school account and we don't want anybody to get theirs mixed up with another group's. And you can download that, or you can share here. We only have the capability to share as unpublished or public, but again, make sure that you appropriately name your project before publishing, and then that's going to give you a link that you can copy and paste and share out to Edmodo or wherever your teacher would like you to put the link.